guys, welcome to my channel. So I'm reviewing the season 6 Love is Blind reunion. Okay, I want to know what you guys think because I actually think Nick and Vanessa did quite well. I don't know. I feel like they asked the questions that we want to know. Um, Particularly when it came to Trevor, I feel like they really kind of got into it. And I think maybe there was a part of them that was a bit annoyed the idea of people coming onto the show just for fame or just to be on TV. Because there's a rumor that he's also on the Perfect Match or a Perfect Match. I don't know. I've never watched that show. So I think maybe they're a little bit annoyed at the fact that he so obviously came on the show for fame. Let's just get straight into Trevor. Let's just get straight into Mr. Trevor. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen, guys, because I've got the little clip of Mr. Trevor. Okay. So I just had to share this.
Say, I was not dating her technically. Like, I never said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" before.
You're saying I love you
Yes.
to this woman as you're entering the experiment, as you're entering the pots.
Yes. I'm toxic as well. I admit that.
It
Like,
makes sense.
I need a lot of like therapy. I did come here for good and bad reasons.
So, Trevor, I know you asked to leave. You can leave now, man.
Go. Trevor, go. Trevor, go. I don't know. I feel like he was acting. He was trembling. He was shaking. It was all a big act. He got caught and he didn't know what to say for himself. It was rather embarrassing. And I like the fact that his ex-girlfriend, whatever she is, called him out. It was just a mess. Like, I think this is always going to be the problem with a show like Love is Blind. It's so popular that normal people, even if they don't want to get married, even if they want to find love, they're just gonna come on it because they know they're gonna be on Netflix for like a good month with everyone's eyes on them, like millions of people watching. So I don't know how they can really get away from that. Yeah, I don't know. I just found Trevor really annoying. I didn't feel sorry for him. I think he was trying to make us feel sorry for him. I didn't. And then we move on to Mr. Jeremy and his boo, and then Laura. So obviously Laura's in Barcelona. Barcelona. I don't know what she does for work, but I want that job because she looks like she's traveling the world. So we get into kind of Jeremy and Sarah Ann. They're kind of coming hot. They're very defensive, and I noticed that the only time they apologized properly was when Laura called them out, like, "Hey, I'm the victim. You guys are in the wrong and you should apologize to me. I don't know why you're trying to come for me." And that was the only time they actually apologized. Anything before then, they didn't. They seemed like they were like enemies with her. And it's like, well, she didn't actually do anything wrong. Don't get me wrong, Laura doesn't have the best personality, in my opinion. I really didn't like her. But I feel like Jeremy and Sarah Ann just were not really taking the accountability and were kind of skirting the issue. And it's like, hold on, in what world, it doesn't matter the circumstances, in what world will a man who's engaged to someone else spend a whole night with another woman? There's no world where that's okay unless you've got an open relationship, but they didn't. And it's kind of like, let's acknowledge that first before you start defending yourself for the public. Let's acknowledge that you did something wrong. Period. Full stop. End of story. um and I feel like I noticed Nick and Vanessa were like, oh, well, let's get comments from other people because they didn't want to be the ones to like call people out. They wanted the other members to do it. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I noticed that. And then we get into Chelsea and Jimmy. We get a little bit about what was happening, but I personally felt like, yes, what she did was wrong. Talking about his friend, we all know that was wrong. But I think it's important to acknowledge that if you're dating someone or engaged to someone who slept with their best friend, that's a lot. I'm sorry, that's a lot. No, I wouldn't. It's not for me. And I kind of wanted to know from Jimmy's point of view, why did he stay for so long? Like, what was so good about the relationship that he stayed for so long? And from Chelsea's point of view, I kind of wanted to know what was her own kind of like reflection from watching herself a year later. What did she think? Because she had some toxic traits as well. And I feel like she kept talking about, you know, the audience and how they're reacting to the whole Megan Fox thing. And it's like, yeah, maybe people are being mean and she's handling it well. But let's also get into your behavior in the show. Like, you made me uncomfy, you know, all of that kind of stuff. I kind of want to know kind of what does she think about it? Yes, she's insecure, but she did kind of gaslight Jimmy in some moments, and she was really controlling. Like, she did have some negative traits we need to talk about, and we didn't really talk about it. They didn't really go at it with each other too much. I kind of noticed that maybe they're friends now and they've kind of agreed to kind of let the past be the past. I thought there would be a lot more drama between Chelsea and Jimmy, but they were quite calm. And then we move on to Kenneth and Britney. And this is the only point where I felt like Nick and Vanessa could have asked a bit more, prompted them a little bit more. The answers were like, oh, we're friends and we talk every day. Forget all that. Forget all that. What happened? What made Kenneth's actions go from like I'm in love, I'm treating her well to kind of like I don't care, I'm on my phone. Are you good? Let's hug it out. There's no beef. Like, he was so casual, he treated her like a guy, like, you know, a friend, or, you know, like, doesn't really care. What happened? I wanted to know a little bit more about that. And I think because they're friends, Britney maybe didn't feel comfortable to express herself, how upset she was, how hurt she was. I wanted to know, what did she think when that happened? Like, there were so many unanswered questions, and I think again, these two were protecting each other, so we didn't really get the drama. I'm not saying I wanted, you know, anyone to cuss anyone out, but I think we just wanted a few more answers. Like, yeah, we know you love your job. However, you were on your phone when the girl was talking. That's just rude. Like, that's rude. You're not the president of the United States, or, you know, like, yeah, your job is important, but you don't need to be on your phone 24/7. I think that was a bit of an excuse. But yeah, we didn't really get much from them. They were a bit boring, to be honest. Um, Obviously, we get into Amy and Johnny. They're a nice couple. Not much to say about them. Obviously, they know what condoms are. I like the fact that Johnny admitted that he wasn't very knowledgeable about birth control. That was an interesting conversation. But again, because they're just good, there's just not much to say. They look happy, they seem in love, which is nice. It's nice to have like an actual positive love story. And then we get into Clay and AD. Now, if you watched my last review, I was over Clay. I was over Clay. I was like, yeah, whatever, you know what you're doing, blah 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 blah. This reunion made me rethink that just a little bit. I still think he was wrong for what he did, because he knew he wasn't ready to get married and he signed up for the show. And he knew, even if you didn't watch the previous seasons, if you're signing up on a show, they will tell you, oh, by the way, we expect you to get married at the end. So if you're not ready for that, don't sign up for the show. So I'm not taking any accountability away from him on that point. But, you know, when he was crying and he was talking about his dad and how he never viewed himself as a good person, I think that was really interesting and that was really important for him to kind of watch his own growth, I'm guessing, from being on the show. But let's be honest, AD is going to take him back. You can tell she's still in love with him. When he was speaking, you can visibly see her reaction, and, you know, she was crying. I feel like they do have a chance. I'm still not really convinced that Clay is ready for anything serious. I do think he does baby himself a lot, to be honest. You know, he's a grown ass man, I think he's 30 something, and he's like, oh, I didn't know, and I had to watch Brett. And it's like, okay, yeah, but don't sign up for the show then. I don't know. I feel don't sign up for the show. Me, I wouldn't want to get married to someone after 8 weeks or 12 weeks, however long it is, or 6 weeks, I think it is. So then I wouldn't sign up for the show. So if in real life you're hesitant to get married, what makes you think you can sign up for a show ask you to get married within 6 weeks. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And I think it's interesting that his dad still has not had that conversation with him. I think it says a lot about his dad's own like emotional growth. And I got the sense that Clay was trying to protect his family a little bit by not really getting into it. Because obviously a lot of people had comments about his mom and his dad and that dynamic. So yeah, that was them really. I feel like AD does still really, really like him. First of all, why did AD go on 2 dates with Matthew? I found that really weird. And I felt like she was trying to make Clay jealous and Clay didn't care. He was like, okay. Because she looks weirder for going on a date with Matthew or Matt, whatever his name is. Like, why would you, after how things ended, why did you even entertain it? And she was like, yeah, I went to his house. He cooked me chicken and rice. And it's like, AD, like, this is not giving what you think it's giving. It's just weird that you'd entertain that man after everything he did. And I think, to be honest, I think she's trying to make Clay jealous, and it didn't work because I think Clay knows that Matthew is really weird. So here we are. So overall, I did like the reunion. I felt like Vanessa and Nick were asking all the questions that we wanted to know. They could have gone into it a little bit more. Like Laura had to bring up the bin dip thing by herself. They didn't ask her. And obviously with Kenneth and Britney, we don't know much about what happened. So it was better. I feel like Nick and Vanessa did better this season compared to previous seasons. You know, they had receipts from the internet, you know, they kind of really grilled into Sarah Ann about, you know, the idea of it being entertainment. So I did like it. I'll probably say it's one of the best reunions. However, I didn't really care to see Bliss and Zach's baby shower. It's kind of like, okay. I didn't really care to see all the other people from before. I don't care. It's like they've had their time. Let them be in the past. I don't care that Chelsea's casting. Like, this is so weird. I don't care. I'd rather get into the people that are here this year and move on. I think it's nice, you know, they're trying to make it like a whole big family. We can see them maybe in the audience, but I don't. Okay, you know, I'm not one of those people that follows them online or on Instagram. I think after I watched the show, I'm kind of over it. It's nice to know that so many people, I think they said 9 couples are still together, but it's not really something, I don't know, in 2024, season 6, do we really care about what's that guy? Oh, what's his name? I forgot his name. I forgot his name. I forgot. Sorry, guys. I forgot. I think it's interesting though how the most popular couple from Love is Blind, they never have them at these reunions. Like, why do they never have Lauren and Cameron? Like, Lauren and Cameron is what made Love is Blind Love is Blind. It made people think like, oh, wait, perhaps it can work out. And they never invite them. They're the most popular couple. I think Lauren's got like 1 million followers. Why did they not invite her back? I'm not I'm not sure. But yeah, overall, it was nice to see Tiff and Brittany. It was nice to see the other couples, but I didn't really need much time from them. I still don't really like Kwame. I find him a bit fake a little bit. But they're going strong, so happy for them. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you feel like Nick and Vanessa did well? And do you feel like they answered all the questions that the audience had? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe. I will be reviewing Love is Blind UK because I'm in the UK. I want to get into it. But I don't watch The Perfect Match. I'm just not really interested. But let me know what other shows you want me to review. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.